there's a time where you just overlook comments like this and you move on with your life. But then there's also a time where you can actually say something. And I think that for me, this would be the right time for me to say something. Not everything, but just enough, you know? So today's the 16th of July, and I just came from the Randburg Magistrates Court. Today was the final hearing to find out what's happening with the protection order that I took out against Nota. And what they've said is that it's granted and that it's going to stand for the next 5 years. So it's final. As for the protection order that he took out against me, he withdrew it. So, yeah, that's what's going on. That's what I have to say for myself right now. So, I don't know. Maybe instead of asking me too many questions, why don't you go and ask him? Why did he withdraw his protection order? You know, and, ask yourselves, why was mine granted? And why did he not pursue that extortion case that he was literally shouting about? You know? So, what is it about this case that you guys don't know? Because clearly, it's not as clear cut, or there's more complications than what you guys are perceiving. Because the truth of the matter is that you will never know what happened between two people because you were not there. Unless you were there, then it's better to just keep quiet, because honestly speaking, you just don't know. You don't know what happened. He said whatever he wanted to say, but obviously, any person who has done something wrong, their first instinct is to protect themselves. And when they protect themselves, they can either decide to embellish stories, or they can decide to tell something that is completely untrue, or they can even leave out and omit very important details. There's so much that people do in order to try and get themselves on the right side of the story. But luckily, the courts don't necessarily follow the trends of what happens on social media. People will talk and talk and talk and talk, but at the end of the day, what happens in the courts is happens according to the law. And that is why, for me, I was just like, I'm not gonna have these conversations here on social media and all of those things. I'm gonna deal with this thing in the court. I opened my case with the police, it went to the court. That's where I'm gonna discuss the finer details of what happened on that day. I'm not gonna discuss them here. Maybe after everything, then I'll come back and discuss them here with you guys, in the interest of education, in the interest of supporting others. Do you understand? So that would be my motivation. My motivation is not coming over here to destroy people. At the end of the day, you guys don't know what happened, so anyway, but just ask yourselves those questions, because those are very important. Everyone had so much, not everyone, I cannot say everyone, because there were so many people that were with me, and I'm so thankful for those people. But a lot of people had a lot to say about me and my conduct and behavior without even having heard from me. I've been quiet this whole time. They haven't even heard anything from me, but they had a lot to say. So why don't you then go and take all of those things, these questions that you're so excited about asking me, why don't you go and ask him? Go and ask him, because there's a lot more to this than what you guys know. So yeah, again, thank you to the people that stood by me throughout this whole thing. And I know that it was hard for you, because it's like you were also being gaslit into thinking that maybe the way that you are seeing things is not the way that it is. But that's how this works. When you've got something as hot as this kind of case, it's always going to be like a fight. It's not easy. It's a fight. That's what it is, and it's not over. For me, it's not over. I don't know. I feel like I'm only halfway of the way there. That's why I can't say that I am excited, because I know that anything can still happen at this point. Well, not sure, but anytime. you know. And that's why I'm so thankful for people like Bomkwanazi. Like, shout out Bomkwanazi for being the type of person that you are, that tells the truth about how these systems are set up, you know. But anyway, this is the situation. I know this will probably not trend as much as a podcast tour, because some of us, we don't have friends in podcast spaces that'll give us platform to mouth off whatever we want to say at any time we want to say it. But whether the truth is loud or quiet, I'm going to stand with the truth. The true cloud chasers are doing what cloud chasers do. As for the rest of us, we are peace out. So thank you again, guys.
Hi everybody, welcome to my channel. Good morning. So listen, you guys, I was catching up with work here, and then I came across this video from Itumeleng. Remember that she had opened a case of an R against Nota. Then my understanding was that at some point she had withdrawn the case. She just said that everything just got too much. She wanted to move on with her life and just focus on her life, and did not want to deal with the case. And you know, when it comes to these cases, you guys, I've made a decision that I'm not going to like emotionally invest in them, because especially when it comes to cases of R with the celebrities and those cases that will be trending online, and GBV cases that will be trending online, because so many times, like, a person would open a case and they will gain support from everybody online, and then now everybody's waiting to see you know, justice, you know, what are the courts going to decide. While we are waiting for that, the person decides, for whatever reason. I mean, I'm sure they have good reasons to just decide what they don't want to go ahead with these cases, and then they just go and withdraw the cases, and then we are left not knowing what happened, because the only tool we have in South Africa for such cases is the justice system, because we are not there when these things happen. And when one person says, this is what happened at this place when I was with this person, and then the other one said, no, that is not what happened, then we have to trust the justice system to make a decision and say, we have looked at the evidence and this is what we are concluding. So when a person goes and withdraws the case, it always just feels like, then how are we going to know the truth? But at the same time, if you haven't gone through something, sometimes you just have to understand that it's different. Like, you wouldn't know how that feels like. Maybe it just gets to be too much. So even with her, I was like, I wish that, you know, she had gone through with this, just so that we can know what would be decided in the court of law. So I did not know that there was an order still that she had taken against Nota, even though on this video she's not explaining what kind of order this was. And also, it's just like, it kind of feels unfair to when she is sharing, but then she's not really sharing the details. If she could just come out and say, listen, you guys, yeah, I did withdraw the case, but I withdrew this, but I'm still going ahead with this, and this is what this order is about, and you know, I got it, and these are the conditions of it, so that we can just understand. You know, she's doing this video almost irritated by the fact that people are asking questions. At the same time, there is no way that you would have opened a case of an R against somebody as famous as Nota, and then withdraw it, and people are not going to talk about it ever again, and they're never ever going to ask you about it again. That is just being delusional to think that that's going to happen. People are just going to forget that happened. People are always going to want to know, so what happens with that case? And I think it's reasonable for people to want to know, what happened to that case. Is it a sensitive thing for her? Yeah, it is a sensitive thing for her, but people still want to know. And it is kind of unfair to leave people hanging in terms of like she's saying, people must go ask Nota. We did not even know that you guys were still having some outstanding things that we were still sorting out with the courts, because we thought that the case had been withdrawn. So, but yeah, guys, this is what she's saying on a video. I just feel like I'm confused as to what this order is and what it is about. Sometimes it's hard to support these cases when the information is not being given. But we haven't gone through some of these things, so we just have to take what the people are saying. So apparently she won and got the order, but I'm not sure what order it was. And apparently Nota withdrew his, but I'm not sure which one Nota was applying for. It's the news this morning. Okay, what am I gonna do? Okay. Listen, you guys, let me finish here. Let me meet my 9 to 5 deadlines, okay? Thank you so much, you guys, for watching this video. Tell me what you think about this in the comment section. By the way, if you know more about this case than I do, please share in the comment section, because I just got confused as to what's happening, because I thought the whole thing had been withdrawn and they were just moving on with their lives. But it doesn't seem that way from what it is saying. Thank you so much. Ngithanda kakhulu.